Breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation at Montclair. I am Marcus Greyhawk, Director of Music Ministries, and my pronouns are he, him, and his. It is good to be with you. If you're watching this live, we invite you to share your name in the chat, maybe even your location, especially if this is your first time, or if you're tuning in from further away. In a moment, we're going to sing a couple of gathering hymns, and after that, we're going to light our chalice. And we invite you to do the same in your home or from wherever you're watching. If you don't have a chalice, a candle or something of that nature will do just fine. Our hymn leader today is Dana Moore.
When the Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever age, identity, gender, ability, sexual orientation, or political affiliation, you are welcome to bring your full self here. Grounded in faith, we come together to nurture the soul, to inspire hope, and to bring into being a more just and loving world. I am Reverend Scott Sandler-Michael. My pronouns are he, him, and his.
And I'm Reverend Anya Sandler-Michael, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers.
If you're joining us at 9:30, please continue with us for a virtual Connection Cafe that will begin at 10:30. Check your email and realm announcements for the Zoom link to join us.
If you are at all like me, you are experiencing a strange dichotomy in these times. I am feeling both more drawn to community than I ever have in my entire life, more drawn to be with my communities, my family, my friends, and also more drawn to protect them, to stay away with social distancing, to create the space that they need to stay well. Living with these two realities moving through me is not easy. I feel pulled in opposite directions. Perhaps you do as well. Be gentle with yourself. Care for yourself. Give yourself the time and space you need to process these strange and difficult times. Now continue with us as we move to light our chalice with a chalice lighting song. Today this will be sung by the Moore and Nato family, a special gift for this Mother's Day service. If you have a chalice to illumine, please join us by lighting your chalice or your candle or anything that you have. We'll share this song together.
Let us open our eyes to see what is beautiful. Let us open our minds to learn what is true. Let us open our hearts to love one another. To love one another. Let us open our eyes to see what is beautiful. Let us open our minds to learn what is true. Let us open our hearts to love one another. To love one another.
I'm Sue Roffer, your board president. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'll let you in on a little secret. As part of our duties, the officers of the Board of Trustees, the Executive Committee, meet monthly on the first Thursday of the month to plan the board meetings and to deal with whatever issues have arisen that can't wait until the board meetings. But we used to hold our meetings over breakfast at the Montclair House Grill or Jefferson's Cafe. I definitely miss those meetings. Vice President Denise Rogers brought her bowl of oatmeal to our Zoom meeting this week, but it wasn't the same. What was the same, though, was that we had a full agenda and we were able to continue to move the business of the congregation forward. There's a lot going on, even during these strange times. A lot being done by and for this congregation. We are planning to discuss all of that at our annual congregational meeting scheduled for Sunday, May 31st at 10:30 after the service. And yes, like the service itself, it will be virtual. You'll be receiving an annual meeting packet soon with a Zoom link and a lot of materials for you to read in advance of that meeting. As always, we'll have issues to discuss, decisions to make, a budget to vote on, and a slate of candidates to consider. Please plan to attend.
comfort, sing, pray, all together as a community. We enter now into this space of depth, each as we are called. Some seeking a quiet meditation, some a soft reflection, others an ardent prayer, each as we're called, yet mystically somehow all together. And we enter into this space by hearing the lamentations, the requests, the remembrances of our community. We hear one another in hopes that we will heal one another. We light a candle of remembrance for Nick Shires, Sally Apollon's dear, sweet, kind, smart, and artistic brother-in-law. Nick died in England on Wednesday, April 29th, after a long battle with Huntington's disease. We will always remember him with great fondness. Alicia Proveno lights a candle honoring Dominique D'Alessio and asks that you as well keep the D'Alessio and Proveno families in your prayers. Dominique lives on as an organ donor. She truly lived up to the meaning of her name Dominique, says Alicia, which means belonging to God. Sarah Scalette lights a candle of sorrow that Unirondack, that Unitarian Universalist summer camp, will not be opening this summer. This is where Sarah's youth and so many other youth find the spiritual nourishment and acceptance that sustains them throughout the year. Wendy Mcneil lights a candle for James Bailey and the Rock Bailey family. Ginny Rock Bailey's husband, James Bailey, died on May 4th from COVID-19. We light this candle for Ahmaud Arbery, an unarmed black man chased down and murdered by a white man and his adult son in Georgia. In the midst of this pandemic, which ravages the poor and communities of color disproportionately, we stand with the Arbery family, with people of color, and with people of conscience everywhere, demanding an end to such violence and to the sickness of white supremacy that still infects too many hearts and minds. And we light this one last candle for all those sorrows deeply felt but left unspoken. May our listening bring forth acts of love. Please join me in a spirit of prayer. Spirit of life, known in so many ways by so many names. Gracious power of love unfolding, known by no single name completely. Be with us in this trying time. Bring to us a sense of comfort and peace found in the little things of life. Give us the patience to reimagine what our lives are and could be. Bring us strength to discover new definitions of home, even as we may have literally transformed our homes to live with this pandemic. Help us find peace at home, here on our side of the threshold, as we look out the windows at a world eagerly awaiting our return. Grant us peace in our homes, so we can listen to our soul's yearnings, so we can hear the cry of our ancestors' breath, those cries offering to us a call of love. Here is how we hear love's call from within and from across the ages. The call of love as anger at injustice. The call of love as frustration about falsehood parading as truth. The call of love urging us to protect the innocent, the children, the elderly, and those preyed upon. The call of love as sadness at seeing cherished values demeaned. And the call of love that whispers to us that we must be gentle with ourselves. We must remember that, of course, we don't know how to get through this, because it's the first time we've had to go through this. And let us hear the call of love that asks us to be of service one to another, even in this time of social distancing. Let us embrace our intuition to love more deeply and to care more broadly as the roadmap to find our way home. Give us courage to fashion our notion of home anew, because at the end of the day, home isn't where I come from. Maybe home is somewhere I'm going and never have been before. Will you hold silence with me? In the spirit of all our honorable ancestors, in the love that affirms life and defends home, and in the name of everything that each of us deems holy within, we pray. Amen.
Hold me, rock me, calm and easy. Hold me, rock me, deep and wide. Hold me, rock me in your arms. Oh, I got a home on the other side. Hold me, rock me, calm and easy. Hold me, rock me, deep and wide. Hold me, rock me in your arms. Oh, I got a home on. I got a home on. I got a home on the other side. Someday, gonna cross that river. Someday, gonna set out on my own. Don't know where my journey leads, but I'll keep on walking till I get me home. Yes, hold me, rock me, calm and easy. Hold me, rock me, deep and wide. Hold me, rock me, my life is a running river, flowing from the mountains to the distant sea. I've known many hills and valleys, but when I reach that ocean, I'll be free. Yes, hold me, rock, hold me, rock, come in, hold me, rock, hold me, rock, deep and wide, hold me, rock, hold me, rock, oh, I got on the other side. Yes, I got
Transformational change is different from either developmental change or transitional state change. Transformational change occurs when our foundational understanding of ourselves and the world around us significantly shifts. A transformation occurs when we go beyond the bounds of our understanding and awareness. We cannot think our way through this change.
We have to experience our way through it.
Can transformation, that sense of the ground moving beneath you, be so gradual that it doesn't make you lose your balance and you don't even realize it till much later? I came to Unitarian Universalism by way of admiration. People that I know well and admired were UUs. So I decided to be one too. Not very deep, I know, but that's me. I really am not that deep. I knew I wasn't Roman Catholic as I was raised. I could buy into UUism. It made sense. Gradually, all that I had learned to believe in was replaced with a deep and abiding faith in humankind. I remember the day, not the day that the transformation took place, because clearly it had not happened at once, but over time. But I do remember the moment that I realized to my core that this is what I believed in. It was in 2004, after the tsunami in Indonesia. And it was the tiniest of articles in a newspaper. Rwandan refugees in a refugee camp had raised over $2,000 in donations for the tsunami victims. That's it. Survivors of genocide who had experienced the worst that people can do to one another. People who had nothing somehow found a way to see beyond themselves, beyond their victimhood, beyond their poverty, and give to survivors of a natural disaster. People are beautiful, and people are our salvation.
This time last year, I couldn't drive. It wasn't that I didn't know how, it was that I couldn't. My fear was all-encompassing. There were all kinds of reasons for that, but the thing about fear, if you nurture it too long, it becomes a part of you. It stops you from living. So I learned how to drive, and when I did, I realized how well it fit me. As soon as I had my license, a friend of mine fell and couldn't get up. So she called me to lift her off the floor and back into her wheelchair. When my front driver's side wheel flew off on the parkway, I got back in the car the next day because I needed to drive someone to a place where they were desperately needed. I didn't have time for fear. And in this crisis, I lived in my trusty car, driving groceries to people in need, helping a friend move, getting books to donation centers. I'm not trying to boast on my virtues. I use way too much gas, and you better believe my car's a mess. But I chose this transformation for Mother's Day because these moments remind me of her. It's been 25 years of watching her be the person with the roomy hatchback. She's the first person you'd call in an emergency, and the person who has too much to get done to be afraid. My very favorite things about myself are the things that I've learned from her, and the ways that I'm like her. She really and truly taught me how to drive.
There are strange shoes. Strange shoes stacked in the closet in the room where I grew up in my parents' house. Shoes that don't fit anymore. Shoes that have not fit for a long time. Sometimes I take them out and I look at them and I remember what it was like to slip them on my feet and dance in them. It's odd that they're all there because both my mother and I get rid of things when they don't fit anymore, but they are still there, still in my closet. There's even those strange dyeable shoes, those shoes that I used to dye, maybe you did as well, to perfectly match a party dress. It's odd that we ever did that, but we did, and I have proof in my closet at home. When I left home, for some odd reason, the shoes stayed. They stayed there in my closet to remind me of myself every time I go home. Pascal Mercier writes, he writes this in his book, A Night Train to Lisbon. We leave something of ourselves behind. When we leave a place, we stay there, even though we go away, and there are things in us that we can find again only by going back there. This crisis is demanding that we stay at home, that we stay within the four walls of our home base. And yet this crisis is also metaphorically forcing us to leave home, to leave the place of comfort that once was so inseparable from our identity, to leave the usual routines that were so usual we forgot they were routines, to leave those blessings of security that were never complete, but at least they were more secure, that sense of more security in our health and our safety. To leave the comforts of closeness and touch, of being with those we love and care for. When we have left home like this, we realize that we've left home not just for a vacation, not just for some blip of time. We realize that we are transforming, that something in us is changing, and we might never be able to go back to that home that we knew before. I can return to those old shoes, and I can hold them in my hand, and I can feel their strangeness. I can't put them on my feet. But you know what? I can still dance. A dear colleague was reflecting on her responsibility to her family in this time of change. And right now, things in their life are changing in ways beyond the crisis. This colleague, my friend, the Reverend Amanda Poppy, is leaving from one congregation to serve another, and she and her family have been a part of the Washington Ethical Society, WES, for over 12 years. This is the picture of her daughter, leaving home, leaving the home she has known for 12 years. And to caption this, Reverend Amanda said, "Sometimes being a mama is helping your kiddo begin to say goodbye to the community she loves." And mamas of all genders right now, you are doing exactly that. You are helping your kiddos say goodbye, to leave the home they have known and make a new home in this strange and difficult place. And perhaps it's the mamas of the young kiddos who have the most on their hands right now. But I gotta tell you, I've been calling my mama as well and asking her to help me through this threshold, asking her to hold my hand from a distance as we walk into this new space together. Mamas are helping their kiddos say goodbye to the way things were in every way, from sun up to sundown, and I'm sure often in between. They're doing this by helping with Zoom rooms, by taking their children on long walks, by being their primary playmates, their primary teachers, and by modeling not that everything is okay, not that this is easy, not that this is comfortable, but that if we keep working together, we will get through this and we will find our way back home. There's a quote by James Baldwin that keeps coming up to mind. It's one I don't think I ever fully understood. But right now, I'm beginning to form an understanding, perhaps because of the crisis we are in. Baldwin, who himself had to constantly, throughout his life, due to racism and systemic oppression and prejudicial violence of all forms, defend his home and create new ones. Baldwin wrote, "Perhaps home is not a place, but simply an irrevocable condition." Irrevocable. Irrevocable. Can't be revoked, can't be reversed. Or to say differently, it is final. It is also first. It was here all along. It is first and it is final. The Alpha and the Omega. Home is an irrevocable condition. We are incredible creatures, humans. Baldwin was one of the most incredible. And if he, with all of the homes he was forced from, if he was able to say that home is an irrevocable condition, maybe we too will be able to make a home here in this incredible space of transformation and in whatever comes next. Perhaps we will be able to make a home here for ourselves and our charges, and it won't be the same. And the old shoes won't fit, but we will still be able to dance. A friend from grammar school, someone I always looked up to, wanted to be like, shared this photo, and she explained Mayhem, which is her delightful name for her child. Mayhem found me in the closet in tears. I'd deaf be more of a mess without my kiddo. We are amazing creatures. I'd, deaf, be more of a mess without my Mayhem, who you may know as Reverend Scott. We humans are amazing for our ability to transform. Many of the ways that we lived before this crisis have changed. The maps, the ways we navigate in the world have been altered, perhaps forever. Our family circle, our friend circles, our congregation has been altered. We have lost dear ones, but some things have not been changed. We can still find one another. We can still reach out to one another when we are in pain, and we can hold one another in the irrevocable condition, in the irrevocable home of our witness and our love. As we heard in our reading by Jim Marsden, transformational change occurs when our foundational understanding of ourselves and the world around us significantly shifts. Well, yes, I would say that is happening. A transformation occurs when we go beyond the bounds of our current understanding and awareness. Beyond the bounds of our current understanding and awareness, wouldn't you agree? We are there. We are there. Now, Jim, give us something we can work with. We cannot think our way through this change. We have to experience our way into it. This is nearly as perplexing for me as that James Baldwin quote, but again, it seems that in this time, it makes a whole lot more sense. We do not know what tomorrow may bring. We do not know how this is changing us, but even as we are leaving home, leaving what we have known of comfort and of peace, we are experiencing home. Even now, in moments, in the home of our witness and our love, mothers of all genders, bless you. You are doing so much. And all of you, all of us, we are birthing this new way of being. My dear ones, we are every day finding our way home. May it be so, and amen. Will you reflect with me? What home have you left behind? What home is irrevocable, still with you even now? Our last hymn today is Blue Boat Home. Let's sing.
And the earth is our blue boat home, yet we're also giving birth to home. In this time of chaos, we are expectant. Just as parents waiting for their new child, we too wait with wonder and anticipation. What will we birth into existence? At the U, we've given birth to many beautiful ministries. Our community has multiplied with our prolific determination to birth a place where we all have enough. A place where we give to make the difference that we would like to see. And today, we ask you to continue your support of our congregation while also continuing with our practice of giving to an outreach organization. 80% of your gifts will care for the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Montclair, and 20% will support our justice recipient. In the light of the pandemic, the Sharing Our Riches team has selected the Newark Emergency Services for Families, NESF. NESF is a nonprofit organization which has served the greater Essex County community for over 40 years. They provide quality services to individuals and families who need assistance with emergency food, clothing, shelter, utilities, rent, and basic necessities during times of crisis. The homeless, the working poor, seniors, people who are duly diagnosed or incarcerated, and those affected by fire, eviction, or domestic violence our primary focus. You can text to give, mail us a check, or go to our homepage and click on the donate button. This is a time of need. all of your gifts are worthy, and they are all received with love.
We are transforming. We are crossing thresholds. We are leaving home. And at the same time, we are building a new home that we can be in together. Will you say this with us? At the end of the day, it isn't where I came from. Maybe home is somewhere I'm going and never have been before. May it be so, and amen.
Our worship has ended. Let our service begin. Go in peace. Go in joy. Go in love.
Until we meet again,
Virtually or otherwise,
you are in our hearts.
When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I
يا رحمن يا الله يا رحيم يا الله يا عظيم يا الله يا قدوس يا
Fiani fliotacha, vitolvotacha, Shabachol 8, Erev Vavoker, Retzorahim. Wani wati elo omakiayo, mitaka.